What up? Fuck, I could be naked right now. Nobody would have any idea. Just kidding. We're gonna kind of be serious today, I guess. Um, so, I mean, is Trump on the Epstein list? Probably. With the main thing that I think about all the time is he had these like 70. I mean, so let me take it back a little bit. I was on the Trump train. I think with like everybody else, I was watching Rogan, I was watching Dave Smith, I was watching, everybody. So I think propaganda works on everybody, and to say that you are immune to it is a fucking lie. But so I was like very hopeful of Trump, and I love RFK Jr. I followed RFK Jr. for a long time, and I really do believe in him, and I hope that he holds to it. I hope that he's not like Trump and just fucking completely turns the opposite direction and gets on the Zionist fucking train or what. I don't even know what to call. I guess I shouldn't call it a train, huh? But yeah, I voted for Trump. I would have voted for RFK Jr. honestly, and I planned on it until he joined forces with Trump, and then I kind of felt obligated to vote for Trump so that RFK Jr. could get in, and they also created all of this like wild opposition, like he's so bad, like, and it's just like you kind of have to go with that if you're like me, like I've originally voted for Trump when he ran against Hillary just so that Hillary didn't win, and then I thought this is the wrench that needs to be thrown in the system. So I mean, as far as 2016 standards go, I mean, he definitely threw a wrench in the system. More has changed in the recent past than I think has ever changed in politics, at least for my generation. Like 9/11 happened when I was in seventh grade. I think it was seventh grade. I remember watching it on the little TVs in the class. Like every classroom you were in, you would literally just switch class, and then you would just go and you would just watch the news and what was going on the television, and it was fucking crazy. It was fucking nuts. And so I had just gotten into seventh grade. It was a brand new school, brand new first year, first time anybody was going to be stepping foot into those halls and those classrooms. So that would have been like what, August? Yeah, so it was like August 2001, and then obviously September 11th, a month later, happens, and so I've been on a fucking ride. Like my generation has been on a ride. Um, but I also feel like my generation was the first one that like. So all right, so back up some more. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, I've had a lot of coffee, and also it's my first podcast, so welcome to. I think I want to call it the Rage Room. My other little organization that I'm doing is called the Rightful American Guardians of Expression. Everything's going to be free speech. Like this one's going to be called Plead the First. Kind of bringing it back to just free speech values, no matter how hateful it might sound. It's important to say it. But anyways, going back, so let's see, seventh grade, 9/11 happens, and obviously at the time, I'm not. Nobody's interested in politics at seventh grade, except for maybe like Nick Fuentes. Shout out Nick Fuentes. Um, you know, so seventh grade, 9/11 happens. I remember they got rid of all of our lockers. There was constantly supposedly bomb threats following that. It was fucking chaos. Like now that it's insane that so but anyways, everybody's on board with like, oh, who just did this, and they're like, it's the terrorists, and the the towel, it's the towel heads and this and that and blah blah blah, and like we gotta hate them. And then so you go through junior high, we're fighting terrorism. Get into high school, I just kind of like removed myself from anything like that. I mean, I don't think anybody in high school really pays attention to politics. Like, I don't, maybe they do. I don't know. I was a little scene kid. I was in like a band and shit and played guitar and thought I was fucking rad with my girl hair. Now I don't have any hair. Um, By the way, you can get my hat on pleadthefirst.org. But anyway, so the whole time through high school and even like after graduation for a bit, you like I watched friends go off and join the military and get sent over to Afghanistan and Iraq or whatever the fuck was going on. I think it was like so it'd been like 2008. So yeah, and and just you growing up as like a true American, you just kind of you put trust in the people at the top, which I don't think that exists any longer, unfortunately. But you're so I was you're sold on it, and they sold us on it, and they tried to get. I mean, I had some serious thoughts about joining the military as well because I never really found like a good purpose. Like I never really found like a spot where I always wanted to be. I'm always changing it up. Um, so at the time, who cares? But you support your friends, and I was thinking about going, but there was just something inside of me that just didn't feel right. I think it like my dad was always the one that would be like talking shit about like the news and how it's all fake and I'm sure he told me something about the military, like you don't want to do that, like they'll own your ass and you know, shit's crazy. But I had friends that went over um and it wasn't until I got a job at Toyota and I had a supervisor named Angel. Shout out Angel, fucking man. He woke me up to everything. He showed me Family Guy. I'd never seen Family Guy before because I like grew up on a dirt road and didn't have like fucking cable or satellite or anything for the longest time. So I didn't have like I never watched like South Park or any of that shit. But I remember Family Guy, and I remember actually being able to pay attention because I always like suffered from ADHD or whatever. But anyways, one day he was just like, "Well, like 9/11 was bullshit, right?" And I was like, "What are you like? What are you fucking like? What are you talking about?" And then I think he showed me. I think it was like loose change or one of those videos, and that like I remember just like this whole. At that moment, I completely realized that everything was a lie. Like everything that they were teaching us about history and global affairs. It just like all made sense all of a sudden. And so I've been on this like I remember when woke used to like mean like you were like woke to like all the conspiracies and stuff, and they took that from us, and I miss saying woke as like a conspiracy follower, but and then I listened to a lot of like Immortal Technique. That dude's sick. I don't know where I remember looking at his page like a while ago, like in the middle of the one of the Trump battles for presidency or whatever, and he was pretty woke, and I was like kind of depressed about that because Immortal Technique pretty much like taught me about the global affairs around 9/11 and all that shit. Shout out Immortal Technique. But yeah, I remember him just telling me like 9/11 was fake, watching that video, and then just being like, okay, well, what else is fake? And I've always had that mindset ever since. I think just like 18, 19 years old, and you start smoking weed a little bit, and then your buddy tells you 9/11 was fake, and then it's just like, that's a whole like, that was a new chapter in my life. So I was really early in on believing in the conspiracy theories, and then around JFK, and just all the major conspiracy theories. Um, Sorry if you can hear my kid in the background. I took the door off of my. It's a den that I'm in right now, and it made more sense at the time to remove the door because they hung it fucking stupid. Like when you open it, you have to reopen it to get to the light switch behind it. It's fucking retarded. Anyways, I'm gonna figure something out. But yeah, my son's like almost 5 months old now. Um, so he can't control his vocal cords as good as I can. Um, Anyways, I remember I've always been this conspiracy theorist guy, and anytime anything would come up a conversation, I'm like, that's fake, right? And everybody'd be like, oh, you fucking crazy conspiracy theorist. Well, fast forward to now and finding out that like everything that we've been theorizing since I was in seventh grade has all been true, and it's fucking crazy. Shout out to Elon Musk for buying Twitter. Fuck, where would we be without that guy? I say what you want about him, like, and fuck, he could just be like the face of it, and it's really just the government or CIA or somebody that owns Twitter, and they're watching everything we say, and they're like, oh yeah, go have your free speech and let us know all the crazy shit you want to say so that we can fucking target you. So shout out CIA. But yeah, going back to the Trump stuff, um, man. So here's my take. They're not gonna ever release those files or whatever you think you're gonna see, because the people that Epstein blackmailed on his island and caught video of, and we know this, like they used to say, they won't say it now, but there's 10,000 clips and blah 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 and this and that, and now Vance is trying to backtrack on with Tim Dillon saying like, oh no, it's just commercial porn. I don't know, fuck these people, man. But Epstein was working on behalf of Mossad, which is Israel's CIA type, department. And we know that. I mean, literally Epstein. Steen. Like, there's a couple things that you can look at each time you see something in the news. The last name will almost always tell you exactly if you need to believe it or not. And I don't know what the other things are. Just have your own fucking brains. Quit listening to these idiots on the news. Like, they are all working for the exact same people. All of them. Fox News and CNN are the same fucking people. I can't imagine not knowing that at this point. Quit watching that shit. Like when somebody's like, "Oh, did you see this happen?" and then they send me like a fucking link to some MSNBC, I'm not gonna believe you. And I already saw it 2 days ago on X. Shout out Elon Musk again. Like, even if Trump's on the Epstein list, you're never gonna hear about it. Um, People were like, "Oh, well, if Trump was on it, the Democrats would have released it when they had power." No, the fuck they wouldn't. You want to know why? Because Bill Clinton, the files that we do have the flight logs. That motherfucker, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton's husband, remember? The Democratic fucking leaders, that motherfucker is on that list more than anybody else. His name is on those flight logs more than anybody else. And you think the people who were running Joe Biden's mouth for 4 years, remember how everybody's like, is this guy even fucking alive? No, he's not. He's fucking drugged out of his mind. Like, there's somebody in the back, there's somebody with their fucking hand up his ass working the mouth. And guess who it was? It was probably fucking Hillary. It was probably Obama. It was probably Michael Obama. Bill's gone, dude. I mean, fuck. How long have they probably been drugging that motherfucker? Yeah. I did not. Fuck that guy. What did he say? I just remember when I was a kid, it was like every day on the news, it would be, I did not have sexual relate. They were really demoralizing us just from a fucking, like, that's another thing. Monica Lewinsky. Who was she working for? Fucking Mossad. Dude, this, like, people are like, oh, this is like a Republican or this is a right and left issue. Quit being a fucking idiot. Quit being an idiot. The same people run the mouths on both sides. The same people also have the media. You know, the I looked it up recently, and it's like 20% of people have critical thinking skills. So that means there's 80% of people that are dependent on people like me to have an opinion for them to relay in normal conversation, day to day life. A majority of people are not critical thinkers, which means they're unable to have a thought of their own. That's insane. Look it up. We could look it up. Let's pull it up. Let's try this out. Let me see here. What do we want to Google here? What percentage of people... Oh, sorry. I forgot to... I'm new to this shit. Oh, I still got portals up. I was looking up like graphics for portals. What percentage of people are critical thinkers? Oh, it already pops up. Fuck you. No, I'm not interested in your fucking AI mode. It's difficult to pinpoint. Fuck this shit, man. Like, I swear 2 days ago when I Googled it, it said 20%. Here's how do you say that? Quora? I don't know. Current observations indicate that now only about 4% of people use. Oh, so it's worse. So who fucking knows? It could be 25%. It could be 4. It's kind of like the COVID numbers. It's like, what do we want them to be today? We can, we'll just make it up as we go. Like everything else we do. Fucking everything's made up. Society is a cult. You want to know why? Because it's a set of beliefs that you learned in school, and you have to believe them to be able to get along with others in society. Sound familiar? Sorry, it probably sounds fucking annoying when I suck through this fucking coffee thing. But yeah, back to Trump. I don't know if he's on the Epstein list or it's not 5D chess. You guys are that amount the amount of cope that it takes to be like, "Oh, it's Trump, he's fucking 5D chess or whatever." That was like a Q. That was like a QAnon thing. Quit that shit. So annoying. He's not playing 5D, dude. The people are he's a chess piece in the oligarch elites of the world that are fucking he's just a little guy they're moving around on the fucking chessboard. To say I guess he is playing 5D chess as a fucking little pawn. What would he be? Maybe like the horse. What was the horse called? I don't know. My dad played chess with me, but not enough to fucking nerd out on it. Checkers. We liked checkers. I guess I'm just a fucking idiot. Maybe I am an idiot. Maybe my boss is right. Anyways, back to Trump. He could be on the Epstein list. It's very possible. I mean, there's how many pictures are there of Epstein and Trump together? It's insane. So yeah, but let's not forget. This is what I was talking about when I brought up the left earlier, but the left kept talking about, you know, how he was a felon. So being a Trump follower, I was like, nah, you're just like, nah, there's no way. There's no way. But now I do believe that I mean, dude, the dude is like a rich motherfucker. That he was a playboy, man. I mean, look at his wife now. Where did she come from? Some would speculate that Epstein hooked those two up. But yeah, the whole felon thing, wasn't it like 74 counts? Let me look it up. Trump felon. Let's just do that. Felonies list. Wow, felonies list. That's the one. 34 felony counts in Trump's hush money. Okay, so how does somebody have 34 felonies and get away with it? And then they're even able to go and be president. Like what kind of deal has to be struck with the courts? Maybe a deal that would say, we'll let you go and it won't ruin your entire. Could you imagine if Trump went to prison? And who cares if these 34 things even happened? This shit happens to normal people all the time. They're falsely imprisoned all the fucking time. So you think this wouldn't happen to some rich asshole? But yeah, there could be a plea deal. He could be on the list. There could be this, like, I think it's called a plea deal. I don't know whatever. He struck a deal then, and then there's multiple ways that he could be blackmailed right now. Um, but either way, I have made a full 180, and now I hate Trump because he has shown that he is owned by Israel. I think the day, so it was, I remember the lead up to like this whole Iran nuclear thing, and I saw it coming a mile away. I'm like, we're gonna fucking bomb them. People are like, no, he doesn't want to go to war. He's not gonna do it. And then next thing you know, we see Trump's over there supposedly over there dropping bombs on Iran's nuclear facilities and stuff. And I say supposedly because I'm to the point now where you cannot believe anything you see. How do I know for certain any bombs were dropped in Iran? I didn't see it. I was not there. So I am, just like society being in a cult, I am believing the narrative that has been told me, and I'm basing my life upon it. So I try not to do that, especially after getting duped by Trump. But yeah, he goes over there and does the bombing of Iran or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck this dude, because if you've been following the whole Israel thing and Palestine thing and the fucking genocide that's going on over there, you're aware of like this Israeli power. You know, it's kind of gone mainstream now, which is interesting. I mean, it was bound to happen, but all of the people like, Nick Fuentes or Jake Shields and all those guys that have been talking, Myron Gaines, who have been talking about this shit, have been fucking blacklisted. Their fucking X accounts have been or not deactivated, but they took away their blue check mark, and they can only have a certain amount of like words in their post now. Insanity. But now it's kind of like getting mainstream, and to their own fault, they put, like, it's so apparent the amount of Israeli flags that are in Congress. The once you're on X, because it took me I didn't even join X until like probably like a little bit after the election, this past election, and that's when I started seeing all of this like anti-Semitism stuff. And I'm always the type of person that's like, oh, well, let's see where they're coming from. And because, like, I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't at the fucking Holocaust. Nobody I know was at the fucking Holocaust. How do we know? We're just going off of the beliefs. Like, oh, we got this big pile of shoes. Congratulations. Where are all the fucking bones? You're talking about something that dictates how America's policy has been based since World War II. Call me a fucking Holocaust denier. I don't give a shit. I'm not denying it. I just would just like to see some more definitive proof, especially for 6 million people. You can't even make 6 million pizzas. They've calculated this out multiple times. You cannot even get rid of that many bodies. It's not even, you have to bake like what, I think it was like 5 or 6 thousand pizzas a day. Like I think a normal pizza, I don't know. It's just the narrative that was sold is completely unbelievable, especially when you just see all of the Israeli influence on our government. It's so apparent. Like you're not hiding anything. You guys think you're so smart. You're fucking retards. Pisses me off. It pisses me off because I'm a fucking real goddamn American, and there's foreign people that have dual citizenships with an Israeli fucking of Israel, another country. They are fucking. They live one place and here, and then they make our policies. Get the fuck out of here. Hang them. Hang them fucking all. Hang them right in the middle of fucking the Capitol building. They want to say January 6th was a fucking, what are they, insurrection. Yeah. Fuck these people, man. I want to know what happens on the trip over to Israel. Because they take them over on these trips and they wine them and dine them and lick their ass. Then they have to put on this fucking stupid little hat yarmulke or whatever, and then they like put their hand on that wall, and then I think they like shove a note and they like litter, but they shove like a note in the wall. I wonder what Trump's note said. Can we go to the wall? Can somebody please go to the wall in Israel and start pulling out those notes? I want to see what they say. Because it's very interesting how, like, look at like Cash Patel, Dan Bongino. Fuck, what a letdown. Dan Bongino, biggest fucking letdown. I really hope he somehow recovers from this. But then again, before he was even in the government, I saw this video of him like saying like Israel's like my primary fuck you. Fuck these people. What do they have on these people? I guess we know Epstein was blackmailing on behalf, but to think that that's the only blackmailing they do, that's why I want to know what goes on those trips over to Israel. Are they drugging people? I believe for the, few years that Hitler went crazy or whatever the fuck he did and started killing everybody, I think that was brought upon him by the doctor that was feeding him fucking pills. They had like legal meth back in the day. It was fucking crazy. Came in like a little Tums, like, or whatever those like little tablets, antacid tablets came in. It's like that, but you could just pop a fucking meth tab. Crazy. Shout out Germany. um, but a real American like myself looks at all the Israeli flags in Congress and wants to fucking go postal. That pisses me off. That really pisses me off. I think that's what pisses me off the most. And then they've made the American flags like racist or something. Fuck you. I think the fucking pride flag is definitely more racist. They're trying to include everything into one. I think that is racist in its own. You're trying to say like you can't have like you can have as much black pride as you want, Jew pride, whatever kind of pride. But if you have white pride, oh man, you're not allowed to be proud to be white. Unreal. And does that correlate with all of the Israeli influence in our government? Probably. I've looked into it a bunch. Like this, like gangsta rap was like a CIA experiment. to create division between the East Coast and the West Coast. Look into like the MK Ultra stuff if you haven't ever looked into the MK Ultra stuff. We don't like who knows who's real and who's not, and who's just a fucking creation of the CIA. Pretty wild stuff. But yeah, open your mind to these things because over the years, everybody was like, oh, that's not true. You're a fucking crazy conspiracy theorist. Well, guess what? It's looking like all of that shit was true. So who's fucking crazy now? Wild. I've had my name ran in the dirt so many fucking times for saying shit like this. Yeah. Wild. But yeah, the amount of Israeli influence is fucking disgusting. And fuck that fat motherfucker, Randy Fine. Holy shit! If you ever want to just get fucking pumped up and rage and then hit like the fucking bag or something, dude, look at fucking Randy Fine's tweets. What a fucking piece of shit. I would love, dude. Somebody should make fucking punching bags in the design of politicians' faces, like realistic ones. I would fucking love to just punch that motherfucker in the face. I mean, not literally, maybe literally. He deserves it. He just, I mean, dude, the dude's calling, dude. Like that's when I saw like the ADL like condemned him or whatever for the things that he'd been saying. Like, if you could be far Zionist, that's fucking Randy Fine. What kind of shit? What's his note say that went in that wall? We need to know. Do they, does somebody like a rabbi go through and just pluck them all out every day and like, that's like the dirt he has. Like maybe you're supposed to put like the evilest thing you've ever done on it and then put it in there and so that you're forgiven for your sin or whatever. Yeah, I'd like to see. I want to know. I would like to talk to somebody that's gone on. Actually, no, I would not. I was gonna say I'd like to talk to somebody who's gone on one of those trips, but I don't want any. You would never be able to trust any of those people. Just like we can't trust Dan Bongino anymore. Just like we can't trust Cash. But I mean, who know, dude? Like, what a letdown. And then the story, the whole reason why people back Israel and feel obligated to like their ethno state or whatever they got going on is because they claim that it was like in the Bible or something. I don't know. Like it's like those who bless Israel will be blessed or whatever. And that's fucking. I guess it's not even in the Bible. I'm no Bible scholar or anything. I wasn't raised, religious by any means. But it doesn't mean that I don't believe in the stories that are in the Bible, because I find the older I get, the more I look at them as to be the real deal. Shout out Jesus. But yeah, I was gonna say like I would want to talk to somebody that's gone on like one of those like birthright trips or whatever, but I don't know how you would trust anything that they say afterwards. Every politician that gets in, they're like, "Oh fuck, I'm the fucking man. I'm gonna fucking get in there and tear down the deep state. I was fucking Barack Obama's right hand man for Pizzagate." Yeah, I don't know anybody who doesn't know that like Dan Bongino was a Secret Service dude while Barack was fucking president. Barack Hussein Obama. Shout out Big Mike. They That's another one. That's another conspiracy that's like, how do you, like, you've ever seen like the video of her dancing on like Ellen or one of those shows, and her fucking big ass dick is just swinging around in a green dress? Like, that's fucking unreal. Plus look at her shoulders. Look, let's, hey, look, we're going to look that up right now. Let me fucking pull up fucking, Let me go back here. Pull up my computer screen here for you guys. Let's search Michelle Obama's shoulders. It almost popped back up. You see that? Let's pull up images here. I'm wondering what it's gonna pull up. There's one dude, like, what the fuck is this? You got, come on, it's not letting me load this shit. Holy shit. Sorry, my internet is fucked up and that's pretty blurry, but like, dude, like, look at the definition. Let's just like block her face off and look at this body. You're gonna tell me that's a womanly figure? Look at those shoulders, bro. Michelle Obama fucking hitting the gym. Fuck. I wonder who fucks who in that relationship. God, I mean, even if she is a woman, she's fucking hideous. How did they ever sell this as like, oh, she's so beautiful? Fucking gross. Sorry, my computer's all fucking up. I got a 2012 MacBook Pro. Yeah. What kind of computer do you think Donald Trump has? My biggest problem lately is the Israeli influence. That's the biggest. That's where all the problems lie. When you the country of, okay, so let's go back. So the country of Israel, or I guess it's not a country, the state of Israel came to be in like was it like 19, it was after World War II, whatever, 1944, 19, whatever the fuck. I don't really care. I don't care because it shouldn't have anything to do with our country, but for some reason I'm here and now I'm a fucking Middle East expert. But yeah, when you look up the Balfour Declaration, and I'm going to pull it up real fast. Hang on. Damn, it used to be way harder to find all this shit. All right, so let's see. So if we look here, this is the Balfour Declaration. I don't even know how to say it. The Balfour Declaration. At the top, it says, "Dear Lord Rothschild," and this is November 2nd, 1917. "Dear Lord Rothschild." That, if you are knowledgeable on any kind of history or any kind of conspiracy theories, you've heard the name Rothschild before, right? "I have much pleasure in conveying to you on behalf of His Majesty's God, they talk so fucking gay, the following declaration of sympathy with the Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious beliefs of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. It should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation." I don't even know who signed this shit. They didn't have to like put the print back then. Like print name here and then sign. But yeah, "Dear Lord Rothschild." Let's see why the Rothschilds. What pops up when you Google the Rothschilds? The Rothschilds are a pan-European, what the fuck does that mean? Pan-European Jewish family who take their name from the house of their 16th century ancestors, Zum roten Schild. Is that how you say it? At the sign of the red shield in Frankfurt's Jewish ghetto. I don't know, but they are directly tied to like central banking, and when you go back and you see like what John F. Kennedy wanted to put in, and you see that all of the things that would have gone against the Zionist movement that John F. Kennedy wanted to put in order, they had to get rid of that motherfucker. And as soon as they did, the Federal Reserve was allowed to print. Well, I don't know if this is exactly right, or, and this is all I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just a fucking dumbass mechanic that likes to talk shit. Um, but somehow the Rothschilds are mixed up with the central banking and the and that's like the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve now, and for a while since Nixon, hasn't been on the gold standard. And so that means money's completely fake. And supposedly the reserve has this, Fort Knox, it's all gold. Whatever happened to auditing Fort Knox? That got swept under the rug real fast. I believe there's no fucking gold in there. I believe the Rothschilds have all the gold. Well, in all of human history, whoever holds the most gold is in charge. And if those same people that run the banking and run all of the money and have all of the gold are the same people that were given Israel on behalf of the European Jews, and then you see all of the influence in our government and AIPAC, the Israeli lobby AIPAC, but it's somehow not a foreign, and that's another thing John F. Kennedy wanted to do. He wanted them to register under FARA, like as a foreign agent. And like, so he had to go for that too. There was a lot of things. Israel definitely set up the JFK assassination. It's the only thing that makes it. When somebody dies, all you have to ask is like, okay, who would have wanted them dead? Him dead. Everybody loved him. He was the most loved president ever. Nobody wanted him dead. The only people that wanted him dead were the ones that were going to suffer. They weren't going to be able to play out this 100-year war that I'm going to go back to this real fast. I don't believe World War II ever even ended. I think we're still in it. I think that these top dogs, Rothschilds, whoever the fuck they are, they've been playing a long game, a lot longer than most people can even like register in their minds. Like, people think like World War II was a long time ago. That's very recent in human history. Very, very recent. And the idea that something that happened in 1940 or 30, well, I don't even know the dates. I'm so bad with dates. But I know that every war has been bullshit. So I think that the long game that they've been playing is like World War One, or maybe they learned it after World War One. Well, they did learn how profitable war was after World War One. They were like, "Holy fuck! Look at how much fake money we generated." But World War Two seems like it was set up with the Holocaust and everything, and then even Pearl Harbor, and then dropping those nukes. Who developed those nukes? What kind of last names do the people who invented the atomic bomb? What were their last names? What do they all have in common? All this shit's connected. I think more people are waking up to it, but I don't think most people understand how just how deep it goes. It's in everything. It's in the healthcare. It's in the banks. It's in the news. It's in Hollywood. It's in your food. It's in the farming. It's in the seeds. It's always has been like the fucking them spraying DDT on everything and then causing the polio epidemic. Yeah, I said it. Polio was caused by a pesticide. I'm guessing people with similar last names developed that pesticide as well. It was probably the same pesticide that they supposedly gassed all the Jews with. That's another thing, like these gas chambers. It seems more likely that they were delousing chambers because at the time there was typhoid going around, and typhoid was carried by mites of some sort. So when you have that many people that you're trying to process into a camp, you're trying not to bring in typhoid, obviously, and these mites that carry it. So it seems like they were actually helping get rid of the disease-ridden mites that were on these people. I could be wrong though. It's anti-Semitic to question it. Which is insane. Anti-Semitism, anti-Semitic is the craziest one. Growing up, people would always call people racist for like for like crazy reasons, and I always wondered why. And it's just like that when you think of like the people who would have like made racism such a big topic, I can really only think of like one type of people that would be really stuck on racism, and and they're not, and it's not black people. Shout out black people. um, but yeah, look at the world today, and let's figure out a way to fix this shit. There's got to be a way to fix this shit. Is total collapse the only thing that's going to reset it? Like the fall of Rome? It could never happen to the United States. People don't understand how. What's the word I'm looking for? How fragile society really is. And here's another thing. If the people who have all the gold were to decide one day that the US dollar wasn't going to be worth anything anymore, those people that run the central banking and the federal, that's who would get to decide that. That's an option in their back pocket. They could just turn it off. And the whole society that's been morally, physically, and everything, it's our whole society is based on money. Like people kill each other for it. It's insane. And it's just this fake thing. But they could just one day be like, "Up, we're going to turn this off. We're going to make the US dollar worthless." And that would cause total collapse. People would lose their fucking mind. People would probably rush to the grocery store and then be like, they'd grab everything off the shelves and they go to the register and be like, "Oh wait, like money's fake and or money's just not worth anything." Like that's and I think a foreign government might have control over that. I think the same foreign government that also has control over our politicians currently. I'm sure they all have like a fucking blue and white flag sticker or something, or even some of these assholes have a literal, they'll have an American flag on one side of then this is in the fucking US Capitol. They'll have one side has a fucking American flag and the other side has a fucking flag with the Star of David on it. which makes it seem like, oh yeah, that's the Star of David's good. Yeah, like I think that's like religious stuff, right? It's like we shouldn't have an issue with that. He's just, that's just his religion, but it's not. I guess it is his religion, but he's also, if you look at these people, they don't, and they also don't have to register as dual citizens with another country. These politicians, they don't need to say if the opinions that they have or the things that they're trying, like, they don't have to disclose that they live in New Jersey and Tel Aviv. And then they're the ones that are making our laws and passing these bills and shit. Another thing with Trump is that big beautiful bill. Holy fucking bullshit. When I saw, I mean, I think everybody already knew it was fucking bullshit, but like when that senator from Utah, Mike Lee, he authored the big beautiful bill, and included in that was he was trying to sell off a bunch of public lands. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. That dude's a fucking cocksucker. I I I heard, and I don't remember what I was watching. I think it was on Tucker. He was talking about, somebody was on there talking about, what was it on there? Maybe it was on Rogan. I don't know. It was on something I saw, and they were talking about how that dude Mike Lee, he's a Mormon, which I have nothing. I have no beef with Mormon people or anything. I've always thought they were very nice people, and but that guy seems very extreme in his values, because from what the guy was claiming on whatever podcast I saw, he was saying that dude believed that in his religious ways that that land should be sold and the money given to the people. Well, in that bill, it was set up to where they were going to auction that land. If I was a thinking man, I would say the people that would win those auctions are probably going to be rich people, right? And in Utah, who happened to be the richest people? What church does is Mike Lee a part of? So if they're going to auction off the land, it's going to go to the highest bidder, and the guy's authoring bills on behalf of his fucking religion or whatever. Fucking crazy. Fuck that guy. Fuck you, Mike Lee. I think his name's Mike Lee. I hope it's Mike Lee. Pretty sure it is. Fuck that motherfucker. I couldn't imagine going into politics, like spending all of that time to get into politics and get and climb that fucking ladder and get all the votes and collect all the money and all the fundraising and everything. I couldn't imagine getting in there and then just being like, fuck the American people. Like, those are literally the people that pay you. Well, they pay you that small paycheck that you get from the government, I suppose. I'm guessing that the lobbyists pay much better than the salary that they get from the government or whoever employs them. I don't know. We're at 55 minutes. If you've hung out this long, I appreciate you. I wanted to I little bit of a backstory on the start of the podcast. Um, I broke my hip riding my BMX bike, slammed the concrete pretty hard, and broke my hip. And I had nothing better to do than just like watch like every Joe Rogan podcast, at least all the good ones for the majority of them. I mean, he'd like put them out every day, and this was when he had taken the Spotify deal, so it was only on Spotify, and I had already had Spotify for music, and I was like, fuck yeah, and there was no ads, and like they could say whatever they want, and it's like in the middle of COVID and all that shit, you know. So it was really cool. Shout out fucking Joe Rogan, dude. That dude. I think he's gonna go down as like the podcast god. I really do. And I do know that there was people that were doing it before him, but the way Rogan thinks is how a lot of people think. So, and stop beating up on him for fucking endorsing Trump. Like, if you have something bad to say about Joe Rogan because he endorsed Trump, fuck you. Joe Rogan has made it possible for so many people to find who they are, including myself. So I break my hip. I'm watching Rogan. It's just like his values, his routines, and everything. And he's just, dude, that he's real, man. And I've always I don't even know what. I've always wanted to be the most real. So he really, uh, the things that he says ring true for me. And he's also into like conspiracies and all that shit. And I think that's pretty cool. But like to say out loud like conspiracy theories, it takes like a certain set of balls that I know all too well. But anyways, I break my hip. I start listening to a lot of Joe Rogan, and then I like start listening to a lot of Dave Smith, and then Theo Vaughn, and Tucker, and Candace Owens, and Nick Fuentes, and Jake Shields, and all this shit. And it just like that's all I listen to now all day long. I got headphones in with fucking podcasts going. I love this shit. It's so satisfying to know that there's a bunch of other people that think like me. And I just felt obligated to start my own podcast. And I want to talk to like all kinds of interesting people about all kinds of interesting things. I'll probably do some of these things where I hop on and just talk shit. And but thanks for joining me. And if you like the hat, oh yeah, shout out Bam. Bam Margera has like been sober for like I don't know, year and a half or something. And he's doing really good. They just put him on zero. I think that's fucking sick. Shout out Bam, he's doing good, man. But if you like this hat, you can get it on my website, pleadthefirst.org. Um, Let me know what you guys want to hear from me. If you want me to elaborate on anything from this podcast, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. God, that feels so fucking gay. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. Later.